everybody, and welcome to Let's Talk Antiques. Yeah, it's time to start here.
Cut Ronnie's mic off just for a minute so he can adjust it.
Wait a minute, which one is him?
I don't know.
I can lean up.
Well, go ahead and move it.
No, go ahead. Make that scratching.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
You don't like the chicken scratch noise this morning.
Did you hear it?
Nah, look here.
Are you ready?
Right, I'm ready.
Well, let's see here. I want to stop that, and I want to turn that back on.
And turn that off.
smooth as
turn
butter.
that on.
All
You
right.
got it.
Can I hear everybody?
We can hear you now. Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now?
I'm so proud of you.
Why?
You got a phone where I can at least send you a picture now.
How about that? Yeah.
You went high class.
Oh, well, you know.
Ain't high tech.
Did you give him one of your granddaughter's old phones too?
No,
No, I actually bought this one. It's on eBay.
Okay.
he's an eBay.
Yeah.
He's about like you buying phones. Ain't that where you get yours?
Yeah, that's usually where I get my phone.
Well, how much is a good iPhone on eBay?
Ooh.
I
We're talking
usually
about how high they are.
Depends on how good and how new.
Yeah, that's what I
spend
mean.
about 150 to 200 bucks every 2 years on one.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but they're not the newest one.
no, they're 5 or 6 years old.
No, they're usually like 2 or 3 years old.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, you might have to get one.
Well, I don't like.
I shop around.
I don't do anything with Apple.
You don't?
No.
What about oranges?
Oranges I like.
Now, Howard Steve would roll over in his grave.
It's just like
if he heard you say
Microsoft. You
that.
know, I don't use Microsoft either.
Really?
I'm a Linux guy.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
fancy you.
Yeah, I get. Oh, I've got these old computers that are running.
I think
new
you're
ones.
like almost one of a kind.
Well, I am.
He's open source.
That's right. I'm open source. I just heard on the news today, you know, Microsoft. There's some kind of new virus out that's going to that's already got Microsoft worried because Windows is actually extremely old and got a bunch of patches and there's all kind of holes in it. And so if you have Windows, you better have a good security system because it's
There you
going to
go.
get attacked here pretty soon.
It's a regular target.
Yeah, it is by the guys that write Linux.
Yeah.
Could be. Maybe you figured the whole thing out.
I figured it out. Well, anyway, we're going to talk about something different. Than
Well,
computers.
today we're going to talk about, if we can get through it,
Yeah.
Wizard of Oz, Roy Campanelli,
Ooh, yeah.
Burt Reynolds,
Burt Reynolds.
his pocket watches.
Oh, I like
There's going to be a few auctioned off.
Yeah.
But we thought we'd just look at Burt Reynolds in general. And then they got the prototype of the 1915 Hoop bottle, Coca-Cola bottle. That's the you know the bottles that you seen in the 60s?
Yeah.
They started in 1915.
Ain't that neat?
Yeah.
So they got a prototype of it. But before we do that, what about Tim Conway? McHale's Navy.
I heard he passed away.
Yeah.
Isn't that one of the greats?
was
Him and
absolutely-
Harvey Korman.
Oh, yeah.
we're hilarious.
Carol Burnett show. I
The
guess
Carol Burnett show.
McHale's Navy was really good, but that Carol Burnett.
Well, I think they just him and Harvey Korman hit it off, you know, and he did
Is that kind of like me and you? Are we kind of like them or not?
I doubt it. We're that
Which
good.
one of us is a straight guy?
I am. I think I am.
Oh, you are.
Oh, you are.
But anyway, you know, he was growing up in the '60s. Everybody knew him. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know who didn't watch McHale's Navy growing up in the '60s.
Well,
or
he-
Carol Burnett.
They were talking. I guess who was it? Was it? No. Did Harvey Korman pass away?
Yes. Yeah.
I thought he did. They were talking on the
Carol
news.
Burnett was in Nashville recently.
Yeah,
though,
now she's
touring.
still alive.
So.
But I heard that Harvey Korman got some kind of award one year, and Tim didn't get it. And I guess Harvey went up to get it. You know, they announced him, and he went up. So Tim just walks up and stands there beside him and looks at him, and broke the way he looked. He had that way of looking at people that just broke everybody up, and he stole the whole show. He did it on purpose because him and Harvey were like that one.
You know, if you remember you reckon that's somebody wanting to swap and shop or?
Hard to say. You want me to answer?
Try it. Let's just see.
Okay. You're on Let's Talk Antiques.
Hey, this is Carol. Is David there?
Carol, I am right here listening to you.
Oh, good. Listen, I was going to tell you a little bit about Orvis.
Okay.
Wait.
All right.
Okay. Well, Orvis is a famous, the guy that started it in 1856, Charles Orvis founded Orvis Company in Manchester, Vermont. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. We're listening.
Okay. It's just a little town in Manchester. It's a village. And I think the population is maybe 4,300 or so. And it's located in southwestern Vermont. Vermont was the 14th state to come into the Union after the 13 original colonies.
Right.
Anyway, he started this company in 1856, and it was devoted to teaching the world how to fly fish, and that's why I was listening. I don't like to fish.
Yeah.
And I guess my dad probably bought us fishing poles when we were little, but I doubt if they came from Orvis. But anyway, I never did like to fish because of those little fish worms and stuff. But anyway, I can't. But anyway, he started that, and that's a long time ago.
Yeah, it sure is. And what you know, she listens to our show, and she was listening last week.
Yeah,
you know, when
we
we
were talking about the fishing stuff.
That company's still in business, right? Are they still there?
I'm on their
Carol?
website right now. Yeah.
Oh, it's still there. Yes, it's a thriving business, and he has. I think they have like 69 retail stores all over the country, and even in England, the United Kingdom, they have 18 retail stores or so. And anyway, besides all that fishing equipment, the half of the store is probably devoted to fishing and rods and all those and they're high dollar, David. They're very expensive.
Are you thinking about getting me one for Christmas or something?
Oh no. I don't know. I don't think so. But anyway,
Go ahead.
Anyway, there's a.
So what's the other half devoted to of the store?
What's that?
Did you say? What's half of the store's fishing rods and stuff?
Devoted to the fishing equipment, yeah, and rods and reels and all that kind of stuff, and lures, and but then the rest of it is a sporting goods store, and they sell clothing and things for the home, and also they have some fine shotguns and stuff like that, and stuff for dogs. So it's like a sporting store. Behind the store, though, is a pond, or you would call it a lake here, I guess. But it's a pond, and you can actually, before you purchase your equipment, you can go back there and test it and see if you like it. Yeah, so they let you do that. And it's been there ever since I was little. I remember going to Orvis, but it wasn't to buy fishing equipment. It was to buy clothes or whatever. But anyway, it's and they also... they have those guns for wing shooting, shooting birds and stuff. And they have videos about fishing and shooting. So, and they have schools that teach you how to fish. So, anyway, I just wanted to throw that out at you.
Well, we appreciate you calling, and we appreciate you listening too. Is she one of our? I think you're one of our 5 listeners.
Oh, is that right? Well, listen, I could probably talk about anything you talk about.
Well, I'll tell you what.
And if I didn't know about it, I could make it up, right?
Yeah. And but you are a very interesting person. But are you sure you're not going to get me one of those high dollar fishing rods? I mean, I don't fish, but I could display it.
Okay, I'll think about it.
Okay.
She's gonna think of
All right, Carol. Have a good day.
Have a good day. Okay, bye.
Bye. All right. Well, interesting.
Oh, yeah. She listens to the show, and I tell you what, she is a very interesting lady.
Uh-huh.
I mean, she's very knowledgeable about a lot of things.
I like her attitude. If you don't know the answer, make one up. Because obviously whoever you're talking to doesn't know it either.
I've gotten to the point where I tell my kids, I'm not making this up. I actually know this. So, they know I'll just make it up if I don't know.
So you have made it up and told your little kids stories?
Oh, yeah.
them little kids
Why
figured
things
it
are
out.
certain ways, you got to give them an answer.
Had a person tell me one time, I've told you more than I already know.
Hey, but anyway, when we was looking up some of that fishing stuff last week, and this one particular product she was talking about, it was high dollar.
Very high dollar, and very people wanted it. That was interesting. A lot of bids on those items, and high dollar both. So
I like her. I like her one point that. It's a pond up there, but down here it'd probably be a little lake.
Yeah.
Some people get offended if you call their pond out in their backyard a pond. They want you to call it a lake.
A lake.
Yeah. So do you know, I know you're a smart man, Howard. How many
Being
acres?
set up for something.
How many acres does it take so that you can legally call it a lake versus a pond? Do you know? What's your guess?
Is there a legal definition on that?
Well, I don't know.
I don't know.
Can you
I'm
find
sure,
out?
I'm sure there is.
27.
Just making it up, David?
So are you now? You just didn't make that up, did you?
Of course.
So, well, he's going to Google it real quick, and then we're going to get. Well, it's almost time to take.
It's almost time to take a break
we're
here.
gonna get a
we-
break.
About 5
We're gonna
minutes.
get-
Well,
It's not
we're
quite.
going to get started on the Wizard of Oz and the baseball gentleman and Burt Reynolds. If
Here you go.
Okay, here's the legal thing between a pond and a lake.
All right, there is no legal difference. A small lake is less than 100 acres. A medium lake are between 100 and 500 acres, and big lakes are over 500 acres.
Okay, anything under that's a pond.
Well, no, it says smaller than 100 acres is a small lake. So
Small lake.
So a pond.
So
is
So,
a pond
a
can
pond
be a
could
small
be a
lake.
lake.
There you
See,
go.
I was right
So,
with my
yeah.
A
27.
big pond.
You sure was.
I know,
So,
see?
so does that tell me when it rains real hard, one of these ditches out here is a small lake?
Sometimes,
Especially down by the
especially-
antenna?
But our antenna, a lot of times there's a lake around
there
it.
All right, I found another one that
Some of
says
these
it's 5
cornfields
acres.
around here are
so-
small.
5
lakes.
acres. Oh, did
Yeah.
you hear that?
I found another one that says it has to be 5 acres to be a lake.
Okay, 5 acres or more.
Yeah. Well, that's, I could. That's a pretty small lake, but
Yeah.
yeah. But it's a really big pond.
Yeah, it is.
It wouldn't be a small yard if you had to mow it,
No.
True.
especially if push mowing it.
But if it's a lake, you don't have to mow it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you saying what we ought to do instead of mow grass, just turn it all into lakes?
We should just flood it all.
Flood
Yeah,
your
flood
yard.
it all. I think that's a great.
Get rid of
Hey,
it.
wouldn't be no problem nowadays, right? The way it rains.
I think we've lost control of this program. I'm not
So we're
sure-
talking about the Wizard of Oz today.
Howard, let's take a break and then let's get started on the Wizard of Oz.
You want to take a
Yes,
break?
let's do it.
Okay. Well, oh my, it's going to be one of those days. I can see it right now. All right.
Follow the yellow brick road.
We'll be back in just a moment or two.
Hello, I'm Pick and Rick T from CFC, best place to get you used auto parts and all types of metals to repurpose for your needs. Just take a drive down 55, see this handsome guy, stop on by. Check out our computer for hundreds of autos to locate the make and the model of the part you need. $2 fee is all you pay. Sign in and get a hand stamp, it's good for all day. Bring in your tools, get the parts you need pulled, and use a wheelbarrow to lighten the load. Pay for your parts, prices you'll be fond of. Each part's price the same, Chevy or Honda. Get exchange warranty for 30 days too. Swap out the parts you don't need for the parts that you do. Happy pick.
The Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester has been voted as having the best hamburgers in Manchester. Hometown atmosphere, historical memorabilia, and of course those great burgers, salads, chicken, and so much more. It's the Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester. Call in orders at 728-4452. You can also order at the convenient outdoor curb service. Hamburgers are made the old-fashioned way at the Jiffy Burger, Manchester's finest hamburgers. Open 7:30 until 9, Monday through Saturday.
All right, we're back with Let's Talk Antiques. Hey, the phone's ringing. You want me to see who it is?
Well, you can.
Yeah.
Don't say swapping shop, though.
No, I'll try not to. You're on Let's Talk Antiques. Hello.
They don't want to talk to you, Howard.
All right.
Hey, let's talk to
Goodbye.
the
Okay, so what'd you say? Follow me down the yellow brick
Follow
road.
the yellow brick road. Follow
Okay.
the yellow brick road.
Yeah. Okay. So the Wizard of Oz, we're gonna get it just a little bit.
It's coming right up on its 80th birthday.
Yeah.
Man, that's
Hard to believe.
Hard to believe.
Now, was that one of the first color movies? They colored part of it,
Well,
didn't they?
no, if you remember in '39, the Wizard of Oz came out.
I
Yeah.
thought it was the first,
Well,
at
there
least
was
major
4
release.
There was 4 great movies. Gone with the Wind.
Yeah.
What was the other ones that came out all at the same time?
Hang
Good
on,
movies.
let me read my little
Yeah.
snippet here.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
And it was in color, Howard.
Yeah.
Chroma
Okay,
color.
released August 25th, 1939. The Wizard of Oz was based on L. Frank Baum's 1900 novel, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. The movie was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Picture, but lost out to Gone with the Wind. That year, one of the most significant in Hollywood history also saw the release of such classics as Stagecoach, Of Mice and Men, and Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. The Wizard of Oz will certainly receive its share of fanfare for its 80th birthday this year. Film festivals, costume parties, museum exhibits, and other celebrations will take place all across the country. So it was a high cotton year for movies.
Oh, it was. And I'll tell you something. If you remember, every fall it always comes on.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
People
Yeah.
still watch.
Is it around like Thanksgiving?
Usually it's the holiday.
Yeah, it's around the holidays.
Yeah.
of
I've
some
got
sort.
it on a VHS. I
Yeah.
I sit and watch it at the house. I like
Yeah.
it.
But
Well,
it
so-
is one of the classics.
So let's look up and just see, since it is the Wizard of Oz, let's see what kind of money some of the Wizard of Oz. Well, I'm looking at a book right now.
Oh, above the book is how about an MGM prop from a wrought iron torch bracket from the Wizard of Oz,
Or maybe it could be.
or from Ben-Hur. It says.
Yeah.
But it says Wicked Witch Castle. Has a David White's auction tag on it. 12 people believe it's authentic. They bid $5,000 was
Well,
the top bid on it.
Either way, if it's Ben-Hur or the Wizard of Oz, it's still a good piece.
True.
And it probably, movie studios did do that. I mean, look at when they shot scenes at houses, they just changed the looks of the house a little bit.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So they utilize what they had.
Matter of fact, even today, I think some house I saw has been used in 2 or 3 different sitcoms on television.
What about a rare Louis Vuitton denim mink fur jacket, Wizard of Oz monogram for $9,051?
So it has a Wizard of Oz monogram?
Wizard of Oz monogram.
But was it in the movie? Was it worn by somebody
No,
in the
it's just
movie?
a-
It was
just a Louis Vuitton.
$9,051. That's all I know.
Well,
why
can
is
you
it
top
so
that
bad?
one?
No, but I can say there's somebody recently sold a first edition Wizard of Oz from 1900 with 24 color plates inside of it. The buy it now on it was $4,500.
Wow.
Well, that's just half the price of a jacket.
Yeah.
Just have-
All right. So let's do a duel here. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got the same list I do.
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's how y'all just rock
We're
back and
okay.
forth.
Yeah,
then.
Now, there are several more of these Louis Vuitton jackets. There was a monogram. One of them brought $3,601. One of them brought $3,225. Now, this one had 78 bids on it.
You know the main thing though? Free shipping.
Yeah,
There you
go.
that's what makes them sell like
That's
that.
it. That's
All
the
right,
hook.
Philip.
Okay.
Philip's got something that's really interesting.
I
Ronnie.
got an 18-inch Julie Garland Dorothy doll from 1939. It says they're in mint condition. 38 bids, $2,900.
Wow. For a doll.
Well, but it's 1939.
Okay, we got an Andy Warhol Wicked Witch color lithograph, hand-signed original Wizard of Oz art,
That's pretty cool looking.
$2,895.
Well, if Andy Warhol signed that,
Yeah.
and of course he did do a lot of lithographs. That is well worth the money. What do you got there that's all bunched up?
Let me pull this up a little more so I can give some details.
All right, well,
This is a JSA Beckett certified 1939 Wizard of Oz signed autograph display. It's checks, paychecks.
yeah.
You got Judy Garland and Lair. Who's Lair? Oh, I'm not zooming in like I'm supposed to.
Well, you better hurry up. You don't want us to have dead air here.
Blair LAH card.
There you go.
So yeah, it's just a piece of notebook paper signed, and
Check.
Judy Garland has a check.
How much was it for? Can you tell?
Let's see. It's $86.88.
Hey, Ronnie,
Must be our paper that week.
you had a bunch of checks one time.
Kings
from
Row
Wizard of Oz.
Entertainment was who they paid it to. So. Oh, it's to Southern California Gas. Okay, so that's where she paid her gas bill.
Okay.
paid her
My pepper gas bill canceled check.
And it's got a nice framed picture of,
Yeah, but-
of
But
the
it's
Wizard
good
of
But it
Oz
is
go with
graded.
It is, yeah. So I guess that's
Well,
authorized.
Ronnie, at one time,
it sold for $3,000. So
$3,000. Yeah. Well, Ronnie, don't you remember you had all kinds of different checks from from the Munchkins
I've still
and
got a few, huh?
Oh, really?
was it all Munchkin checks?
Most of them were Munchkin checks, yeah.
Were they like really
They
small?
come from Todd Miller.
Oh,
no.
that's bad. Oh,
You know you're gonna be in trouble. over that.
yeah, you can't do that anymore.
Little
He
people
said they
do
were
not like
Munchkin
that.
checks. He didn't say he had little people checks. He
There
said
you
he had
go.
Munchkin
You
checks.
just
But yeah, that stuff come from Todd Mueller.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good stuff.
Yeah,
Hey, $3,000, you ought to be framing some of them up and take a picture of the Wizard of Oz.
I think I'll be digging tonight.
Yeah, I think you ought to. Hey, so you got a book there, Ronnie?
Yeah, I've got another first edition Wizard of Oz. Frank Baum brought $1,937, one bid. And then there's another one here, $18.99, brought $1,800.
Well, you want to hear one better than
The
that?
cover's a little rough on that one.
You want to hear one better than that?
Yeah, I did.
Tell him, Philip.
Well, let's see. We got a R. John Wright, MGM picture, The Wizard of Oz, The Cowardly Lion doll.
Now you know who Laura is.
Yeah, there you go. $1,750.
No wonder that thing brought $3,000.
Man.
Yeah.
Hey, one time, Ronnie, you remember this too. We had an opportunity to bid on one of the. They had two costumes, the lion costumes.
Uh-huh.
You remember? We could have bid on one
An
of them.
actual
Actual costume, yeah.
Oh man, that would have been pretty steep.
That's
Yeah,
what we
it
told
was.
him.
Well, if I said we had an opportunity,
Okay, all right.
I think that thing didn't it bring around $1 million bucks? or
Big
something?
money, yeah.
Like $1 million bucks.
Wow.
Now, had I known Howard back then, I would have bid on it.
I could have got that.
In
Out of,
Howard's
I could have got that out of petty cash.
That's
Yeah.
right. Had I known you, I would have bid on it.
With your account.
Right, with my eBay number.
Yeah.
But you get to keep it for a while.
For a while.
Okay, so what we got next?
Here's a Wizard of Oz tumbler of the Tin Man. 37 bids, $1,675. In good condition.
What's it say about it?
Imagine that.
This the up for auction is a Wizard of Oz Tin Man glass that appears to be unused. It measures 5 1/8 inch tall and 2 7/8 at the rim of the glass. On the bottom edge of the glass, just below where it says The Wizard of Oz, it reads 1939 Metro Goldwyn Mayer Incorporated.
Huh.
The glass has a picture of the Tin Man that is blue-gray. I have not seen another glass like this one, and I'm not sure of its origin.
Well,
Wow.
How much did it bring?
It brought, what was $1,675 after
That-
37 bids?
That's amazing.
Wow.
Somebody was pretty interested in it.
Yeah.
It can't be authentic. They didn't make glass prints in it can't be from
they could've.
1939, did they? Because
Why couldn't it?
I mean, I've just never seen any printed on. Like it looks
I've-
like
I've never seen a
like
lot of
beer
stuff.
glass, kind of, whatever, pint glass, And I've just never seen anything that old printed like that. So.
Yeah.
Regardless,
Okay.
some people really were into it.
Yeah.
Well, it might have been something. They used to put glasses in
Cereal boxes and-
boxes of soap and
yeah,
stuff.
cereal and
Yeah, and the women would buy this, and they would collect a series. So maybe there was like a series for movies,
Yeah, I guess
with
so.
the years. But that would have been back in the 50s.
well, see, you remember Oats? They used to have
Yes.
the glasses in the Oats.
Oats, yeah.
What was that kind of glass called? It was I forgot what they called that glassware. Maybe somebody listening will remember.
But
But anyway, it was common back then.
you remember when you get free glasses and
No, it's
dishes
the
when you
Carnival
bought
glass or
gasoline?
something.
No, I can't say I do that either.
Oh boy!
I've never gotten a toaster when I opened up a bank account either, though. So
Well,
did?
you did.
never
Hey,
have.
Wow.
Listen, guys,
Good a sheltered
we better
life.
not get off target here. What's that next thing, Ronnie? I'm trying to.
I have a 1939, this is MGM invented just for Oz and pre-release Showmanship Herald. And it's like a little pamphlet says The Wizard of Oz, got a cast picture and
promotional
tells about the show,
thing.
yes. $1,495.
Wow.
I would buy it now.
Huh.
$24.50 shipping on that one, so they had to pay shipping
Oh
too.
boy.
Hey, they said Gone with the Wind was opened up the same year. I have one of the original movie brochures. It has all the colored pictures of the stars and stuff
Right.
in it that they actually gave out during the premiere.
Premiere.
Now that's something different. There wasn't a lot of them.
Now, if you could get one of those movie posters, they used to put out in front of the theater and the.
Oh, yeah.
Those bring big money too
yeah.
Got a
today.
bunch
You can
of
get
those.
those.
Even a lobby card. Remember the cards?
Oh,
with
yeah.
what was it? It took 8 lobby cards to make the whole set when they was advertising for a movie.
Uh-huh.
All right, what do you got next, Hot Rod?
I have got a used 35 millimeter feature film of the 1939 classic The Wizard of
Wow.
Oz. This is the film. I'm trying to find out what
I wonder,
When it was
does it say it still
complete.
shows?
printed on polyester film with excellent color.
Okay.
102
5
minutes
cores,
runtime.
102 minutes. Okay, so it doesn't say like what year it was printed or anything like that. But
Look how much you brought.
they brought $1,300.
Yeah. Now, luckily, that was polyester film, because that first film that they used to use was highly flammable,
Yeah.
That
and
celluloid
it
stuff.
would deteriorate even in a storage box. Because my dad used to run a projector at a movie theater many years ago.
Really?
And he kept several films. Remember Harold Lloyd, Silent, had some of those. And
still got 'em?
No, because when we opened up the can, the film had turned into like jelly almost.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know about
And
that.
Dad was telling me that they had to be very careful, because if it hung up in the projector, the light was so intense,
Right, yeah.
it would immediately melt the
Catch
film
on fire,
and
wouldn't it?
catch on fire, and it was almost like gasoline the way it would go up. You know, it just suddenly
Well,
almost
I was trying to
exploded.
think, it seems like when they got a little, if you left them in those containers and if you stored them right, they wouldn't
Well,
do that.
these were not stored right.
That's right.
These had been
but they
stored.
smell more like ammonia or something.
Yeah, there's something in it that, and the film actually
Yeah.
just goes jelly-like
Yeah.
almost, and
That's from the temperatures, extreme
Right.
temperatures, hot and cold.
hot and cold.
That's
you
why
know.
it used to be such a big priority to restore those old films, you know.
While they
some
were
of them
still usable
restorable.
or possible. So luckily that was done on a film that would be not do that. See,
Yeah.
but if you could find a
should pick
good
that up.
a good original one, boy, it'd even
Hey.
be worth more money than that.
And if you were, from my experience on this show, if you were to buy that for $1,300 and then just cut single frames
Yeah, I know.
out,
Oh, yes.
out of
Yes.
famous scenes and frame it up
You
nice,
money ahead.
you would make
And
a
And
lot
have
of
a
money
whole
off
picture
that.
of the Wizard of Oz, all the characters, and have that one frame.
Oh yeah.
That'd be good. Hey, ain't it about time to pay a gas bill?
it is time to pay a gas bill
I thought
this
so.
time. We'll be back with more Let's Talk Antiques.
Hello, I'm Pick and Rick T from CFC, best place to get you used auto parts and all types of metals to repurpose for your needs. Just take a drive down 55, see this handsome guy, stop on by. Check out our computer for hundreds of autos to locate the make and the model of the part you need. $2 fee is all you pay. Sign in and get a hand stamp, it's good for all day. Bring in your tools, get the parts you need pulled, and use a wheelbarrow to lighten the load. Pay for your parts, prices you'll be fond of. Each part's price the same, Chevy or Honda. Get exchange warranty for 30 days too. Swap out the parts you don't need for the parts that you do. Happy pick.
The Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester has been voted as having the best hamburgers in Manchester. Hometown atmosphere, historical memorabilia, and of course those great burgers, salads, chicken, and so much more. It's the Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester. Call in orders at 728-4452. You can also order at the convenient outdoor curb service. Hamburgers are made the old-fashioned way at the Jiffy Burger, Manchester's finest hamburgers. Open 7:30 until 9, Monday through Saturday.
All right, we're back with Swappage.
No, we're not back as well.
I told you not to say that, Howard.
Good.
Yeah.
We're back with Let's Talk Antiques. How's
Okay.
that better?
Yeah, so when we left, we was talking about the polyester film.
Yeah.
So he looked it up to see when the first year what year was it?
1955.
Okay. So there was, what was the first film, the material used?
Nitrate. That was the stuff that
That
was
Howard was
flammable
talking
and
about.
dissolved.
Very dangerous stuff, apparently.
And then what was the next one?
And then, it says acetate was next. It says, despite the dangers of nitrate film being known since its development, it was used in virtually all major motion pictures prior to 1952. And so then polyester was invented in 1955, but it was only in the 1990s that it became overwhelmingly popular. So I think they used acetate mostly on that in-between time. So
Okay, so,
there's tidbit of knowledge of that.
Yeah.
well, I'll tell you what, that's one thing that this show does. It does educate people. So we're going to go to the ball player. And did you ever watch him play ball?
I have seen him a little bit on TV way back when.
Not when you was a kid, though? You didn't get to go see him play?
No, I've never seen him in person.
Okay, so.
But he was one of the greats.
Yeah.
Were you there at his Major League Baseball debut?
No.
Oh,
So Rory Campanelli, he played for the Dodgers. So Ronnie,
Okay.
Philip?
Mine's a specific thing, not about the history. as
Okay,
much.
so let's have a real quick history on it.
His
Ronnie.
nickname was Campy. Okay, he was an
Campy.
American baseball player, primarily a catcher.
Yeah.
He was a native of Philadelphia. He played for the Negro Leagues and the Mexican League for several seasons before entering the minor leagues in 1946. Then he made his major league debut in 1948. Okay, his career ended when he was paralyzed in an automobile accident in 1958. He was considered one of the greatest catchers in the history of the game. Okay, he played for the Brooklyn Dodgers in the 40s and 50s. After he retired as a player, he held the position. He was a scout and community relations with the Dodgers, and he was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1969. Just a little quick overview.
Okay, so the reason we're even talking about it is that there was a story about his.
One of his jerseys is going on sale at Heritage Auction here soon. A 1956 Roy Campanella game-worn Brooklyn Dodgers jersey is expected to hit one out of the park when it sells during Heritage Auction's spring sports memorabilia just in a couple of days, May 16th and 17th.
So-
The catcher was instrumental in the sustained success of the last Brooklyn Dodgers teams. He was always doing something to help you win a game, they said. Campy, as he was called, would win 5 National League pennants with the Brooklyn Dodgers, and this historic garment dates to the last and was almost certainly worn during some portion of the 4 World Series contests at Ebbets that year. So it's a World Series worn jersey of his.
Here's the interesting part about it. You know, they used to hand those jerseys down to the minor league.
Right.
And so listen to this part right here.
The jersey was co-signed by the son of Lee Ferreira, who played minor league ball in the Dodgers farm system from 1957 to 59, and was issued this jersey as a hand-me-down, as was standard practice for many years.
How about that?
How about that?
So, this is expected to top $100,000 at the auction.
Wow.
So they never, you know, back then, the famous players, they never thought nothing about the jerseys.
No, nobody did. That's why,
I mean, the whole uniform, not just the jersey.
Right. That's why they're valuable today. They're not
Yeah,
a
but they
bunch of
just
them around.
passed them on down and wore them out, didn't they?
Well, yeah.
That's how they used to do in high school, too. You know, they'd pass the football uniforms. And,
Right.
Remember?
You know, and the minor league teams were, you know, those guys in the minor leagues, they were working for peanuts.
Yeah, and they was working their way to be in the majors.
Well, that was their ultimate goal, you know, riding buses. And now the minor league teams fly just like the
like
big
the rest
guys,
of 'em.
and they got fancy uniforms and everything else.
Yeah,
I'm
a little different, isn't
a
it?
Yeah.
lot
big
more
pay.
affluent.
Well, and like we talked about before, like him, you know, they didn't make a lot of money.
No.
And so he actually, on the off season, he had his own little liquor store. I think it was in New York.
I didn't catch that.
I think
part
it
yet.
was. But anyway, so that's what happened. He was going home and there was snow on the road, and he slid off and hit a pole or something. and
Glen
it-
Cove, New York, where he owned the liquor store.
And so a lot of those players had other jobs.
Oh yeah.
But ain't that something?
Yeah, well, off season. Yeah, you know, you didn't go practice the whole rest of the off season
Or
in a
tour.
batting cage. Yeah, no, you have
And
to
like
work.
football, the same way. You know,
Well,
they had to have a job during off seasons.
Yeah, they weren't making.
Well, they
they
don't
were
anymore.
making. They did not sign a $100 million contract, good for 5 years or something
Yeah.
like you hear today. It's not.
I don't even remember, but Mickey Mantle, when he first started playing, you know, I forgot what his salary was, but Joe DiMaggio was making. I think at one time he made a little more than Joe DiMaggio, didn't he?
Who was it that was the first to make 100,000?
Had to be Mickey Mantle or Joe DiMaggio, wasn't it?
And everybody thought that was terrible to pay that much to a sports
To a
person.
ball player.
Yeah, a
Remember
ball
what Babe Ruth said? He said, "I make more than the president of the United States, and I'm having fun at it."
Yeah.
That's what Babe Ruth said.
That's what he said.
So
Mickey Mantle, in his first year as a professional baseball player, received $1,100, and in 1949 he signed his second $100,000 contract as a Yankee.
Yeah, see? And I think a bunch of people were upset that they would pay that much to
Oh.
somebody that plays a game.
Okay, no, that said he got a $98,100 raise over his 1949 contract.
Yeah.
How'd you like to get a $98,000 raise?
Ooh, I like
nice.
that.
But see, I mean, people like Babe Ruth, though, and Mickey Mantle, they were rare,
Oh,
as far as those kind of salaries.
Right, yeah.
But Babe Ruth, he pushed it for many years, didn't he? Well, he died, didn't he die like in 1948 of throat cancer? I think he did.
I'm not sure. I think that
But
sounds
I mean, he
about right.
made money right up. I guess at the end he
Yeah.
didn't, but he was so popular.
Well, back to Roy Campanella.
Yeah,
let's
All
do it.
right, let's go, Roy.
Thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
So I've searched him here on eBay, and the top selling item is a 1952 Topps Roy Campanella number 314, PSA grade of 8, near mint. 20 bids, $6,100. Man,
That's a nice looking card. there, too.
it's in very good condition.
Now,
yeah.
$40 shipping on that one.
Yeah, what about
Got
that
it.
54, Ronnie?
We got a 1954 Wilson Franks Roy Campanella. It's graded a PSA 7. Brought $4,273 with 31 bids. $40 shipping on that one too.
Well, if we're going to do 52 and 54, Philip, do us 53.
Okay, got a 53, number 27 Roy Campanella, PSA grade of 9 mint.
Get a good one.
They're saying the last one sold for $4,200, and they asked $4,000, but they didn't get it. They took a best offer. The next highest one's a little over $2,000. So
The 55.
so they got somewhere between 4 and 2.
So the 55, I think, is that the one they call the TV card because all the players.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah, it
TV.
looks
He's
like a
in a TV
TV.
set. Yeah. That was a PSA 9 mint condition. That sold with 36 bids. That sold for $2,080.
So some of our listeners, I guarantee, he's got one of those cards.
Probably.
And
I
didn't even know
promise
who
you.
Roy
Nobody ever
Campanella
thinks
was.
about him.
Yeah.
They always think about Mickey Mantle or Roger Maris.
Yeah.
Or,
Dave, I got a eBay question for you here on this. They say authenticity verified on these top 2 ones. Do you have does that mean anything to you? I've not seen that on.
Well, that-
on if it's PSA, that's what they're talking about.
Yeah, but there's a special thing on the actual eBay
Oh, I don't
listing
know.
that they.
Well, you think they're forging the PSA?
Maybe it's because it's through an auction house.
Yeah,
Is that
okay.
Maybe
Just to make sure that the PSA is really, that somebody hadn't just stuck it in there.
Yeah, they verified it. I guess. I say
Somebody
You
had
wanna see-
forged
you gotta
the
call-
PSA.
We got 2 of them.
Well, let's see what's happening.
You're on Let's Talk Antiques.
I'm trying to get help swap the shop.
Swap and Shop's over with from 8 to 9. You're on Let's Talk Antiques.
Yes, this is Ann Klein. I was wondering if I could send you an article about the homecoming at Bethany Church on Riley Creek Road.
Yes, ma'am. Just send it.
Okay, can you give me an email address?
Send it to WMSR at thunder1320.com.
At Thunder.
1320.com.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.
No Roy
odd to have
Campanella
2
there.
come in right in a row. And
Yeah,
neither
how
of them
about
were-
that?
Well, that's it's hard to follow you, Howard.
I know.
There you go.
Your swap and shop show is really busy.
Yeah.
So have we got a few more cards?
We do.
I have a 1949 Bowman set break Roy Campanella rookie card, PSA 8, $1,776 with 18 bids.
That's a really small one too.
Yeah, only
It's
$20 shipping
it's a
on that
square.
because of the size, I guess.
There you
Hey,
go.
ain't it break time?
Pretty close. Got about 3 minutes.
Oh, 3 minutes. Okay.
2 minutes.
All right.
2.5 minutes. 2 minutes and 15 seconds. It keeps moving.
Keep counting them down there, Howard.
I was trying to find one we haven't covered yet. Here's one that's a lower grade, 1952 PSA 4. So most of those high dollar ones were a 9 or around there. This is a 4 that it only comes in at $895. So
Ain't that awful?
you might as well
Is that
put
all?
that in
Somebody
your
put
bicycle thing.
somebody had that in the bicycle making the motor sound out of it.
Let's see. He doesn't have a whole lot of years worth. He only has up to 53. It seems
Well,
like.
he should have a. I mean,
Well,
he played to 58, didn't he?
There you go.
40s and 50s, it said, with major
Yeah.
leagues.
Yeah, here's his. Here's a nice one. It's a 54 PSA centered. Says very tough card. PSA graded 3. They were looking for $800, and they got probably about $700 off of that one. So.
Now I know it's break time now, Harry.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a quick
Hey, when we
break.
come back, we're going to talk about Burt Reynolds.
Oh, he's fun. I like him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Pickin' Rick T from CFC, best place to get you used auto parts and all types of metals to repurpose for your needs. Just take a drive down 55, see this handsome guy, stop on by. Check out our computer for hundreds of autos to locate the make and the model of the part you need. $2 fee is all you pay. Sign in, get a hand stamp, it's good for all day. Bring in your tools, get the parts you need pulled, and use a wheelbarrow to lighten the load. Pay for your parts, prices you'll be fond of. Each part's price the same, Chevy or Honda. Get exchange warranty for 30 days too. Swap out the parts you don't need for the parts that you do. Happy pick.
The Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester has been voted as having the best hamburgers in Manchester. Hometown atmosphere, historical memorabilia, and of course those great burgers, salads, chicken, and so much more. It's the Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester. Call in orders at 728-4452. You can also order at the convenient outdoor curb service. Hamburgers are made the old-fashioned way at the Jiffy Burger, Manchester's finest hamburgers. Open 7:30 until 9, Monday through Saturday.
All right, we're back here with Let's Talk Antiques. I did it right that time, fellas.
You did good.
Yeah,
I did good.
Okay, so now we're going to jump over to Burt Reynolds, and the reason we are is talking about there's going to be a auction, or was there an auction? And he was a big pocket watch collector, and a couple of ladies that he was associated with. One he was married to, and the other one, Sally Fields. They both gave him a watch. So who
Yeah.
was it?
Lonnie Anderson.
Yeah,
South
Lonnie
Carolina. So Reynolds died in September of a heart attack at the age of 82 years old. Loved watches, whether wrist or pocket, Rolex or Tiffany, customized or over the counter. Much of Reynolds' life can be found in these watches. Financially strapped, Reynolds sold several of those watches at auction in December 2014. At the time, he characteristically said that he was an old guy downsizing. He had filed for bankruptcy in 1996 after falling into more than $10 million in debt.
Good Lord.
He blamed it on his costly divorce from actress Lonnie Anderson. Accelerated Reynolds' slide into
See that?
bankruptcy, foreclosure, shame, and retreat, they said. Sold at the auction was a personalized watch from actress Sally Field, who Reynolds had called in 2012 the love of his life. Though they never married, Reynolds proposed to Field on numerous occasions. Sally demurred at least until early 1981. On the back of an 18-karat gold watch was inscribed, "To Burt, love Sally, 2/11/81. Not just for an hour, not just for a day, not just for a year, but for always. Will you marry me?" That's a good inscription. That watch sold for $13,750. Another watch link was Reynolds' many love interests. This time, actress and ex-wife Lonnie Anderson will come up for auction on May 21st. The Swiss pocket watch features a gold fob with a gem-encrusted B and bears an inscription from Anderson. She gave it to Reynolds on their first anniversary in 1982. He loved timepieces of all kinds, especially pocket watches, Anderson wrote in a letter accompanying the watch at auction. When I came upon this special watch at Tiffany, I could not resist purchasing it for him. I hope someone will love and cherish this beautiful treasure as much as he did. That's amazing.
So a $10 million divorce, and she gave him a $5,000 to $7,000 watch back. That's
That's
pretty
awful
good.
nice of her.
And a letter though.
Yeah, letter.
Well, yeah,
I
personalized.
mean, golly. So let's look up some Burt Reynolds stuff. You want to?
Okay.
What you got there?
I have Burt Reynolds' personal Bolin leather script cover.
Bolin. That's the saddle company. You know, they made saddles
Yeah.
and bridles. Don't you remember? All the cowboy stars used
Yeah,
them.
it's really nice.
Well, that's
It's
the leather part.
So it's like a leather like a notebook cover
Yeah,
kind of
notebook.
thing. 4 bids on that, sold for $4,000.
Good grief.
It looks really
Well, I
nice.
bet it is.
It says Burt Reynolds
It
right
better
across the
be for
front.
$4,000.
I think he owned part of that company, didn't he?
I don't know.
I
that,
think he
did
did.
Okay. Next is a really nice one. It's Burt Reynolds' personally owned Cannonball Run belt buckle, and
okay.
it says it's a van, and it says Cannonball across the side of it. So they wanted $22,000, and they got somewhere between $4,000 and $1,000 for that.
well.
So they didn't quite get the 22,
$2,000.
but they accepted whatever that offer was. Now here's a pretty cool one. Is Burt Reynolds signed Smokey and the Bandit hat, PSA DNA graded or authenticated, and that's sold for right at $900.
No, I think that's pretty cool.
Now you said DNA, so they do a DNA test on the sweat, I guess, off the hat
They
man.
call that where they authenticate it. They call it the DNA.
Yeah, I don't think
No,
that.
Yeah,
They don't
do
actually
anything.
run DNA tests.
Oh, okay. I just was wondering.
Well, you know, sometimes I guess when they're signing, they could be sweaty, and some of that sweat would run on the signature.
well, that's where they could get. I've been watching Forensic Files on television, and they can get this DNA off all kind of stuff.
That's
You've-
what they call that service.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Well, they can do DNA evidently.
Yeah, oh,
They
yeah,
could, yeah.
Yeah.
Here's a copy of his watch that he wore in Smokey and the Bandit, the turquoise men's watch with sterling silver cuff, and it brought $859. So it's just, but
Free-
and that's
free
just
shipping.
a copy. Yeah.
Free shipping.
Here's a Burt Reynolds owned worn personal wardrobe vest. It's a kind of a light brown tan vest, I guess you say. And that they wanted $700. It brought between that and $439. Here's one of these. I expect you to have one of these, David.
I
You
don't
this. Burt Reynolds, Smokey and the Bandit, signed 1/8 scale die-cast Firebird, certified. So this is the Smokey and the Bandit car.
Yeah.
That he's autographed. $439 for that with free shipping.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That one in the movie, that was a 78 in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's a pretty cool one too. Is another film. This is a 16 millimeter feature copy of the Cannonball Run 2. $339.
Okay, that's cool.
Here's a Burt Reynolds autographed Smokey and the Bandit CD. Or CB, not CD.
CB?
So
Oh,
it's a
okay.
CB radio.
Yeah, one of them 10-4 things.
Yeah, and he signed the handle on it. So $399 would be that.
Yeah.
Burt Reynolds, 1959, signed a letter as a camp counselor. So apparently Burt Reynolds was a camp counselor in 1959, and 14 bids on that went for $382. You want me to pull this up, David, and we can see what?
Well, in '59, wasn't he on Gunsmoke then? Wasn't he the blacksmith on Gunsmoke in '59?
I don't remember.
He was
Yeah.
the blacksmith on Gunsmoke. I don't know the year.
I bet it was in the about that time.
Yeah, we're getting down to about 2 minutes here,
Here.
folks.
Dear Kathy and Bill, I was very happy and pleased to receive your letter. I have thought about you too many times since camp. Kathy, I wouldn't worry too much about Bill becoming a hood. It takes a certain kind of boy for that, and he's not that kind of boy. I only hope he continues with his football and other sports. That's the only thing that kept me from heading the wrong way. I just saw my M Squad, and a few minutes ago, it's sure funny sitting home watching yourself on TV. I wasn't really too happy with my performance, but maybe I expected too much. The reason Jim didn't play too much this season is because he has been hurt. And then it flips over. It's actually several pages long.
Huh.
So sincerely,
Burt Reynolds?
let me see on the signature on this. Right when you can. Sincerely, Buddy.
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 He
So
calls it Buddy.
Buddy.
maybe that's what they called him.
And his
Buddy Reynolds.
return address, it's got it comes with the envelope and with the return address and everything on it. And there's pictures of him as a camp counselor there.
Cool. How about that? I didn't
So
know
that's
that.
$382. That's,
Well,
that seems like a decent investment.
Yeah.
Be something to frame up, wouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. That's pretty cool.
Well, it looks like we're about out of time.
I think we are out of
Yeah.
time.
Being from Buddy,
Are we going to be back next week?
Yep.
Okay.
most certainly.
Oh, okay. I just double check. You're never sure, All right, we'll see you next week for more. What is the name of this program? Let's Talk
Let's
Antiques.
Talk Antiques.
And but stay safe out there and have a nice week. And we'll see you next week for more Let's Talk Antiques. Bye bye.